Hey everybody, welcome back for another video. We're going to talk about when is it okay to feel a rise in your backswing. So a lot of the times, I think a lot of people have heard or read or seen people talk about, oh, you got to keep your level on your backswing, you got to keep your head still, you don't want to be lifting. Well, I think sometimes a lot of that has to do with a lot of misunderstanding of how the body can move in the golf swing. So with my online client Michael here, who's done a lot of good work, recently someone asked, oh, is he lifting too much? Well, that's actually a really good question, because in the traditional sense, he may be lifting because his head is going up, but that's because he's getting taller in his swing as opposed to just lifting his upper body separately from the lower body. So couple different things to think about. So when we look at Michael first, so this is just I'm just gonna compare the original swing that he showed me compared to the most recent swing. We've been working together for I think almost 3 months now online. It's been going really good. He's gained 20 yards on the carry with a 7-iron, which is nice to see. So if I show you, so this is the original swing. I'm just gonna kind of show you guys a normal speed. So you guys can see very typical amateur player, very armsy, where his right arm folds very early, hinges a lot, right elbow's flying, he's way across the line and way past parallel, right arm very folded. So not exactly the structure that I like. For you guys who have seen my videos already, you guys know this is definitely not what I like. As a result, from being in that position, he has no choice but to undo all of that, pull his hands down, and then late shallow. And he actually makes it work, but it's just very inconsistent. So this sim, I believe, is a true golf simulator. Was reading 111 ball speed, I think, if I remember correctly. We'll see what it shows at the end. I believe it was 111 ball speed. Yep, yeah, 111. You can kind of see if you squint your eyes right there. And then video on the right, again, same thing, very armsy, no body turn, not much movement in the lower body at all. This is like very typical amateur golfer swing. Pure arms, picks it up with his hands, folds up the arms, hinges the club. You can see he's very narrow. Left arm is folded because his right arm is folding too much. And as you can also see, the angle between club and arm is very sharp. Club is way past parallel, and you can't see any of his back at all. You don't see any of his. I know it's a little bit of a camera angle, but even still, he's not turning past 90. His lower body hasn't turned at all, so not what we want. Okay, and you can see in the traditional sense, he keeps his head very steady. In the traditional sense, so while that may fulfill one of the big requirements of keeping your head steady in the traditional sense, that's not what we want. We want free movement with structured body parts to ensure we can move at it with athleticism, to increase power, to increase speed, to increase predictability. In my opinion, a steady head isn't a be-all, end-all for predictability. Now, obviously, I don't want the head moving this much off the ball, but it's, again, no one moves that much off the ball. So I'm going to show you guys where we are at now on the right. So you guys can see biggest differences first is backswing looks different. You can see legs are way more involved. You can see that slight rise of his head at the top of the backswing, which is what some people were asking me, is he lifting? Well, in the traditional sense, the lift would be the upper body losing inclination independently from the lower body, okay? But you can see his head is rising because his legs are changing flex. You can see his legs kind of get taller there, which I'm okay with. He still maintains inclination because you guys can see his hips are still tilted and his shoulders are still tilted. His left shoulder is still lower than his right shoulder. He's still on an incline, which I like, proportionally to the lower body. What I really like in addition to that is he's actually turning now as he loads. As you can see at the top of the backswing, if I compare it side by side. So big thing in the top of the backswing is this. His right leg is still flexed on the left in the old video. Right leg has now lost flex. It's not completely straight and locked out because we don't want that, but it has to straighten and lose flex for you to turn properly. Number 2, his hands are deeper, as you can see, compared to hands being on top of the shoulder. And then his right arm is not as folded anymore, so closer to 90 degrees here compared to the video on the left is like definitely very folded. And you can see the club at the top, which I like, which means he's not too overhinged compared to the video on the left. So as a result, shaft shallows a lot earlier, which I like, compared to the video on the right. Shaft is still very steep here at left arm parallel. Compared to the video on the right, shaft is way shallower. But again, I can leave that for another video talking about his progress another day. So back to the main thing of when is it okay to rise, okay? Why it's okay for Michael to rise here is because as he turns and gets taller, he does that at a pace that is matched with all portions of his body. So it's not like he just suddenly stays level, and he can suddenly rises all at the very end. He's gradually getting taller, peaking at the top, and that allows him to get lower in the downswing by helping him squat and rotate. What I really like here is you can see his butt's kind of there at the setup. He gets to the top, gets a little taller, still stays on that line, and then pushes his butt back as he squats and rotates before he pushes up and finishes, and he's still pretty much on that line, which I really, really like. So if I show you guys on the face-on comparison before I dive into this deeper, again, you guys can see no turn on the left. Now he's turning and loading and getting taller on the right. And again, that's cool because he's doing everything at the same time. He's not turning and then getting taller. He's turning and getting taller at the same time. Much better turn there. Really loaded into the inside right heel there. Nice turn. Nice width. Left arm is actually straight here now. Compared to video on the left, no turn. Right leg still flexed. Bent left arm. Too much hinge, no width. So much better on the right. So as a result of him getting taller, it allows him to squat and rotate into the swing, to use his legs to push up and rotate to create speed, and that's what drives the rest of the body to help deliver the club in a more predictable manner. So here he's like 123 ball speed with a 7-iron, which is up 10 plus miles an hour. He's up 20 yards of carry, which is good to see. And you can see him rising like this actually helps him flow very nicely. It's not abrupt, it's very subtle, gradually gets to the top, slight pause. It looks like while he changes direction. It's almost like if you throw a ball up into the sky, the ball kind of hangs in the air for a little bit before it changes direction back down. This is what it kind of looks like, and this is what I really, really like. Is he gets to the top, kind of looks like it floats for a bit at the very end of the backswing, and then he squats and rotates downwards, which then propels the body to catch up, which then propels the arms to sling through. And there's still more work to do, but very happy with how far it's come in 3 months. So I'll show you guys again in normal speed. Turn and rise, and then turn and push through, or turn and squat and rotate. And then video on the right, face on. You can see it flows very smoothly. Turns and gets tall, and then squats and rotates and comes through it, which I really, really like. So if you're someone who thinks you're lifting or rising, it's not necessarily a bad thing as long as it matches up to the grand scheme of things. If you get tall because your legs are also getting tall while you maintain your inclination, that's great. Michael here does a great job of maintaining his inclination as he gets tall, okay? He can see he's not losing inclination. If Michael's spine is somewhere there, he turns. Pretty much bang on. Hips are still slanted because, again, the trail side will get higher than the lead side. Same with the shoulders. Everything's pretty much matched up here, which I really like. And then he gets lower, maintains inclination as he loads into the ground and pushes back up and around. So really, really like that. So I'll show you guys, again, in normal speed. Love that. Love that finish. So good there. You can see him getting taller, which one thing I really like as well is if I put 2 lines beside his hips, he turns and gets taller, loads the trail side, and as he squats and rotates and gets down, him coming down helps him reduce the lateral movement. You can't come down and you can't squat angle lateral. It's very hard to do. So by getting taller and then squatting and rotating, it limits the lateral. So then it helps him really maximize his potential to combine the vertical aspect of the swing with the rotational aspect. And then later he will hip extend, and that's when he passes the line, which is when we kind of want it. We don't want that lead hip passing that line on the lead hip, on the lead side too early. So one more time for you guys. Love how center he stays, no lateral movement, gets tall and turns, squats and rotates. I love that. Video on the left, maintains inclination very well, turns and tall, squat and rotate. I love that. So hope that helps. If you're someone who feels like they are getting too lateral, this may be a good feel for you. Letting yourself get taller in the backswing to help you come down without the lateral movement on the downswing. If you're someone who already does this, it's not necessarily a bad thing as long as you're maintaining your inclination. So don't feel like you have to get rid of it. This, you can see, adds a lot of fluidity to the golf swing. This adds a lot of flow, which helps them transfer energy from the ground up, from the feet to the knees, to the hips, to the torso, to the arms, to the hands, to the club ultimately. So hope that helps. Any questions, leave it in the comments below. I'm probably going to do more of like a progression video of Michael as well to share with you guys, because I think he's done a lot of good work in the last 3 months working on this VA online coaching. So hopefully that will interest some of you guys. Again, any questions, leave it in the comments below. And thanks for watching, everybody.